Hello, my name is Gramps. I'm a Huntress and Hillbilly player, and I've played both Hillbilly and Huntress for a long time and a lot of hours versus very good players. So I'm making an analysis video of my friend JackuuChan, and I'm making an analysis video of his Huntress gameplay because I saw in this game he got 4 outed in a public match, and I want to see why, like what happened. Maybe he didn't have the right build. Maybe he just played poorly. I don't know. I want to see why though, so I'm going to analyze it.
No DC. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
No, Sash made up DC.
oh, he's using Shadowborn. That's 100% Shadowborn. Shadowborn kind of sucks on Huntress
Was
because
that just
it's
toxic?
really just a waste of a
Such rat.
perk slot. Uh, so I'll go over builds and add-ons real quick. Best add-ons are Infantry Belt, Oak Haft, Babushka, and Eeriehead. Those are like the 4 holy add-ons. So this add-on combination is absolutely fine. It's very strong, although I would rather say Babushka Infantry, because I think Babushka is stronger than the Oaken Haft. As for build, Barbecue, whatever, it's for fun, it's for blood points, but Iron Maiden sucks, Shadowborn sucks, Bitter is okay. If you want to go for like a full try-hard sweaty build, now with the new perk changes, since since Pop Goes the Weasel and Corrupt are not going to be as good, I would run something like Brutal Strength, Thanatophobia, Deadlock, and Agitation. Or instead of Thanatophobia, run Scourge Pop with Agitation, so you can Scourge Pop with Deadlock, and Brutal Strength for that chasing potential. I think Brutal Strength is one of the best perks on Huntress. It's really strong, and with the new base kit changes, it's going to be even stronger, result in even better zoning, even better chases. So first thing, you have no Corrupt, you should cross, yeah, you should cross Crop Map, which is what you are doing. Um, Somebody's already started on Gen. You have no Babushka, so we have to play a little safer with our hatchets. Um,
Really?
let's see. Let's wait for a chase to come up.
Let me contribute to the challenge.
There's 0 point kicking that. Oh, it's for a challenge.
Oh, it is this type of game.
You should have checked in the pallet gym, in the C gym, because they're probably hiding in there. Don't pull here. There is 0 reason to pull here. Oh, nice hit. You get a hit there, but you really shouldn't
No, I
have.
threw it
Like,
too high.
if you just walked a little closer, the way they were walking, you know they have sprint burst. You should have held your hatchet, and you should have
What?
walked a little closer first. Don't pull there because they're gonna vault back. You throw it wide, which is just an unfortunate aim thing. Okay, here you can probably walk them down. Pull your hatchet, pull your hatchet. Okay, well they walk into a corner, so they die.
Yeah, that's fair. That one.
Okay, he's memeing. Nice hit. They're going to double back. Okay, that guy's a robot.
Getting so many Xbox players, bro.
What you could have done versus players who are actually good and who are not kind of stupid, like these guys, because these guys have displayed no movement skill whatsoever,
We know it's bigger mermaid.
is you can hold your hatchet for 2
That was
seconds,
actually
watch
sick.
their feet. If they double tap, if they double strafe to the left, like some good players will do, nice shot. If they double strafe to the left, like some players will do, okay, this is 100% this has to be prove thyself. There is no way they are doing these generators this quickly. Yeah, let's prove thyself.
This is not cool.
Prove thyself, BMPs.
How do
You
I
need to
use
camp.
gens for that?
You need to camp. Where are your generators? Um,
Sash, what are your perks, by the way?
Oh my god.
I think you have a 3-gen, you have to camp. You can't really take this chase, but that was a good hatchet.
Fam,
Oh, you can't even camp a
restart
3-gen.
your
Yeah, this
Twitch.
game's over.
You shouldn't be getting ads.
After I get hit the first time.
I think I'm confirming.
Yeah.
You are confirming,
I
yes.
think I two-checked Dwight from across the map and confirm him.
This is not confirming though. You have to be closer to the hook. Because they could just rush it right now and they can hide behind the hatchets.
Bro,
They can hide behind the hook and like not what do you call? And did not have to fear. If they get hit, that's whatever. They'll just hide. They'll just take the hit sprint and they'll hide behind the hook
Restart your Twitch, fam.
while they unhook and then they'll body block with BT.
Is this a wide Michaela?
You could have definitely thrown there. I would go and confirm this guy to death.
I'm gonna make your case.
Oh, that's my 2 o'clock alarm.
Okay, well.
Nice, you get the down. You need to tunnel Dwight now. You can hook this guy and tunnel Dwight, but you need to tunnel Dwight.
She have tenacity? No.
I would have reloaded before picking up, because now you don't have as many options to.
No.
That wasn't gonna hit anyway. It was too high up.
Yeah.
You need to tunnel Dwight. See, now you're reloading, but all this time Dwight is making more and more distance, and he's the player that you need to kill. There is no way in hell that you win this game without tunneling Dwight. And this person might have DS, so there's no point. You know that they're going to fake that because of the way they're moving, right? They're staring directly at it, and they're going towards it, but they're going at a slight angle, right? That guy wasn't pathing directly to the window like he wanted to vault it. You know that he's gonna fake that there. And even if he's pathing towards it like he wants to vault it, you should still hold your hatchet there. Because you can, if they animation lock, then you can just throw the hatchet like you did just there, and you'll be fine. You can't chase this guy. It was a good attempt. See, I feel like your mechanics are not bad, but you're just chasing the wrong person constantly.
She has like a full.
Chaz, where are you?
I'm Nisha.
She has the full build.
Yeah.
I mean, this game is over, right? Because you cannot defend these generators.
Damn, Chaz is literally doing this shit in first.
This may not be a very good game because all these players are really bad and they just die in like 2 seconds. But they have like BNPs and prove thyself or something, and you didn't camp. So there is no way of winning this.
Why am I about to lose?
So the way I would have won this, Jakku, I'm going to do another game because this was really poor. Like there's nothing that you can learn too much from this. But what you should have done, a little more to the right and a little down, what you should have done, Jakku, is you needed to tunnel the Dwight after that guy got unhooked. You tunnel the Dwight, then you camp someone in your territory where there are less pallets. You don't want to go for that ever because you know from the way that he's looking that he's not going to do that. You can hit that. You should have absolutely thrown. A little more down, and because you have a fully charged one, you can't hit that. This is a little too much to the angle and you need a little higher. But when they were right here in this doorway, I will explain a little bit so that you guys get an understanding of how Huntress hitboxes can work. So, Huntress hitboxes are very strange. The Huntress has a spherical hitbox, like an invisible sphere around the hatchet, and it's slightly indented in the top, right? And so if you throw this hatchet right here, right at the corner of the doorway, it is going to hit the Michaela 100%. Her pill-shaped hitbox is peeking out enough that the indented corners of your spherical hitbox will coincide with the pill-shaped hitbox of the Michaela in the doorway. So you will essentially be able to hit thin air and you will do damage to the Michaela. So you could have thrown that hatchet right there, it would have killed her. Assuming you aimed it correctly. This is just a waste of time. They will never die to this, especially because you're making it quite known. I don't know why she's still staying there. She's stupid. You have no babushka, so you don't have enough time to rev that. Now you need hatchets. How do we want to play this? Looks like she went. Yep, cutting her off. Good. Oh, she must have had live. She went all the way to the door. Oof.
How is that gate ready?
Wait, that door is prepped already. These guys are definitely a Swift if that gate is already prepped.
No.
And they definitely have BMPs or something. Do you just let this guy out? Because I remember they 4 escaped. Yeah, he just lets this guy out. Okay, I want to find a different game. So there wasn't really much we can glean from that. All I could glean really was basically like the killer mechanics shit where you just or killer macro shit where you just in that scenario, like in that game, I could have gotten a 3k for sure. Why? Because Dwight, I would tunnel, another person I would camp to death, and then during endgame I will be able to procure another down because these players are bad. So that's the order of operations you wanted there. You tunnel Dwight after he gets unhooked. It's really easy too, because he was injured, but you spent too much time lurking where the Michaela was. You tunnel Dwight, and you know he's healing because he's kind of a robot, so he's going to insta-heal, not realizing that he's on your side of the map where it's dangerous to be. You tunnel him, you get another quick down, play it in the mid-map, you down and you want to hook mid-map, because you camp mid-map, you can see both sides of the arena, camp him to death. When the last gen gets popped, then from mid-map you transfer to where the last gen is popped, you find the survivor who popped that gen, you kill him, because they probably will not be able to escape you because you have 7 hatchets, and they're not very good, and then you get a 3k like that. That's how you want to play that.
What the hell?
But mechanically, there wasn't really too much we could
As
glean.
long as you guys distract. What is he doing?
I don't know. That's
He is literally confused. He's literally confused.
You have Iron Maiden, you might as well have reloaded. Don't pull the hatchet, they're not going to drop it.
Fucking boosted, dude.
Nice hit, they didn't dodge. You
beautiful.
could have just walked through it. This is another hit. Nice. You see how he went slightly wide there? He expected the Claudette to go wide as well.
I was gonna
Uh,
walk through the pallet, but never mind.
you don't want to instantly throw the wide hatchets, right? Because they might have... Ooh, these are kind of risky hatchets that he's pulling here.
Sad.
Very risky indeed. Because they're like on a very short notice, and he has no babushka.
Okay, that's fine.
I wouldn't throw the hatchet like that. Why? So, we know this Meg is probably not a good player. I mean, just look at her. But look, this is a classic Huntress trick that a lot of people use. It's a basic Huntress trick. When someone goes to the left and then goes to the right, you let go of the hatchet because they will go back to their original position to try and juke, and then you throw the hatchet. But this is something good survivors will do. They'll go left, and then they'll go right a little bit, and they'll go left again. Right? And this is a basic Huntress juke, so that's why you always want to hold it 1.5 seconds or a few ticks after that happens, so that you can identify what kind of survivor they are. I see Jakku is just kind of throwing his hatchets. In the beginning, I don't like being too ambitious with my hatchets. In the beginning, I just want to identify, and I mean, you can probably identify what kind of survivor they are. This guy is called Sibo812 on the console playing Meg Thomas. He's probably not exactly agony levels, but it's important that you download the survivor's movement, mindset, and psychology when you start chasing them. So there, I would have held my hatchet and I would have seen what he does. Does he do the juke where he turns left, turns right in for a little bit, and then turns left again to bait out a return hatchet? Or does he just continue on his way like he did in this example? And that way, I'll be able to identify what kind of survivor I'm playing against.
Is he on you?
This is a little bit to the right, and it needed to be a little bit higher.
Yeah. Keep you bagging them.
Yeah, he's on me.
I would probably just pick up here. Oh my god, this player is terrible.
Hey,
I'm
dude.
headed to the 2-story building now.
Alright, on the way.
That was a pretty normal hit, yeah. Hit that back.
This should never work, by the way. You spent too much time on the outside of the wall with your hatchet raised.
Game's already over.
You wanted to basically, oh, actually got picked. Nice hatchet. That was right on the edge of the hitbox, so it was a good shot.
Breaking that door. I'm running to preschool.
That was way too high. You want to lower it a little bit, and you want to... Oh, close.
Didn't hit?
You needed to shoot it a little. So the reason it didn't hit, right, is because this tree stump right here,
Didn't
I
flip.
probably go down here.
you see that tree stump, right? You unfortunately pass by it, but that tree stump, it's angled a little where it's a little higher on the left and a little lower on the right, but this is an illusion. The hitbox is actually a plateau. It's a perfect straight plateau, and it doesn't have any kind of like differentiatingness on the left or on the right. So you needed to throw that a little higher so it goes past the invisible barrier of the hitbox and then hits the person behind. That's why on that tree stump, on the side where it's lower to the ground, it looks like your hatchet hits thin air, and on the side where it's higher to the ground, that's why it looks like sometimes your hatchet can pass through the tree stump itself to hit the survivor behind it.
Didn't hit?
That's the reason why that happens like that.
Thank
Oh my
you.
god.
There's no pallet here. Like that.
I'm shadowing you.
He's actually still committed to me. Oh my gosh. Holy shit. I need that from preschool, by the way.
Yeah, I would reload
Yeah,
here.
I'm coming.
I mean, the game is over.
GG.
you, Sag?
Yeah, he's still. Oh no, he wants me.
He's on you now. Okay.
She didn't walk her.
I'm
Oh
going
no.
to pallet.
He's going to be screaming if she didn't walk her.
Period.
Pallet
No.
Rob.
Period. Off with you, skinny ass pallets.
Let's see, do you get a
Yeah,
barbecue
my
proc?
theory is
You
I'm gonna
do.
zoom
Okay,
into
they are
my
in check.
pallets
You will
because
not hit that. Oh, they're coming out the left side of shack. Hold
In
it.
Shaq.
No, no, no. They're coming out the left side of shack. Way too high.
are you
If you
able
wanted
to
to aim
zoom
through
in
the
on
doorway.
Sag?
Yeah, I'm downstairs.
I think they've probably already transferred. So, reason why. Let's analyze their movement here.
I see
They're
them.
inside shack right now, heading towards the doorway. And look, they turn around, they're going through the other doorway, and they turn a little to the right, and then they turn to the left. What does that mean? That means they look to their right, and then they look to their left, and usually survivors will go in the direction that they last
Yeah,
looked.
I'm downstairs.
Unless it's like an unbelievably smart survivor, and he's like, okay, I'm just gonna juke like I'm gonna fake the way I look. But I sincerely doubt this guy did that.
Thank you.
Maybe he might have gone into the basement to hide. I kind of doubt it though.
Oh my gosh, you lost
I
your
think he just went
He's
out the
checking out.
back. Yes, that's exactly what happened.
He's
He
crazy.
went out the back, saw that you were coming towards him, and then went around the long side of shack.
He's literally checking lockers. Why?
He wanted to throw to the left there because he's going to dodge to the left. Why? Because he has the tree stump and he has these trees on his left. He's not going to go to the right. The reason he's not... Okay, important psychological note to make. The reason he's not going to go to the right. Why? You may say, Gramps, he has trees, he has rocks on the right as well as on the left. So why would he go to the left? Why would he juke to the left instead of to the right? Reason being, he is heading towards a hook that is on his right. He will juke to the left because in his mind he will think the Huntress will throw to the hook, right? She's trying to hit me while I'm unhooking, and that unconsciously will make him juke to the left instead of to the right. He will choose the left because he wants to distance himself from the objective that you are aiming to control while he's trying to dodge the hatchet. It sounds a bit ridiculous, I know, but it actually does operate like that in survivors'
He's
brains.
literally checking lockers. Why? He really
You
thinks
also
he's
just
so
threw it too far to the right
smart.
in general.
How did that not connect?
Oh, he finally snuffed the bone.
He's gonna keep running probably. No? Okay.
And that's how
He stays. What I would do here is drop my hatchet. Like I would just put it down and just walk all the way around. You want to force them to the correct side. No, you want to force them the other side. Okay, well, she just gets mind game here. Pull at this corner, pull at this corner. Nice, good. So how I would play this LT, I would drop this hatchet, right? And I would walk around the outside. Why would I walk around the outside? That is to say, this side that I'm looking at right now. The reason being, Huntress is a killer that is, you know, she has hatchets. She's ranged. So, unlike a traditional M1 killer, you don't want to run it from the inside. You want to give them that free vault because you can punish the vault. And because the Huntress is a very versatile killer in that she can pull up and put down her hatchets very quickly, you can walk around the corner if they're looking to vault it. Like if they're in front of the vault, you can pull it and you can hit them by the time they finish vaulting. And you can and if they're not near that, you can just hold W and get closer to them and melee hatchet them or M1 them.
So much fun.
That's why you would run it from the
Yes,
outside.
Jakku.
Because as Huntress, you want them to go to the 50-50 animation lock or the run by.
Hello?
In this scenario, you would pull around the corner,
And just
down.
spot it.
And what happens here? Is this decisive strike?
He is spilling the shit out of
Why?
him.
Why are you
Oh
DSing?
gosh, it's plot is getting.
Also, this is why I would reload.
I'm pretty sure this plot is like a comp player or something.
This is why I reload after
I
downs.
think this ready too much.
Yeah, I mean, you probably didn't expect it because decisive strike, but again, this is why.
2v1 at 5 gens. Why are you DSing me and then pulling?
Little higher.
I'm so bad at this game.
Yeah, you should just put down because she's just gonna hide edge map. A little amphibious, no? Bit of an amphibious swing.
I even make this? I did. Unless she has like flip flopping and got a second off.
Dark theory, I see.
Man, that fucking blows.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
dark theory,
god!
dark theory is
No
literally
shot.
How did I get that? How did I get
I
that
mean,
blow?
by this point, you kind of already knows. You already know the survivor's movement, right?
No
So
shot.
you're gonna walk through here. The moment she hears you take out the hatchet, she's gonna juke to the right. Well, she might also juke to the left, but it's very unlikely she will juke to the left. Why? Because if she jukes to the left, she loses distance more than if she jukes to the right. If she jukes to the right, she can continue holding to the right, and she will go back inside of the map where there are more things to use versus Huntress. Whereas if she jukes to the left, she will corner herself more. Now, the reason we knew she's going to juke at this exact moment is because there are two primary times in which Huntresses throw their hatchets. Huntresses throw their hatchets when they first wind it up and as soon as they are able to release, and Huntresses throw their hatchets when they have their hatchet fully charged and are able to get the maximum straight flyer distance. Now, the trick to playing Huntress is to confuse the survivor by using times in between, right? You want to use it, let's say you charge it for only half a second or 0.25 of a second after you instantly pull up, or you charge it and you hold it for like 4 whole seconds and really just like make them anxious, make them nervous, be patient. So that's the reason why we knew that Survivor's going to juke there. If you want to be really five-head and you want to completely predict them, which is fun in pubs, what you can do is you can pull and then throw in the opposite direction, the way that they are going when you instantly pull up, because they will think, okay, the Huntress is going to insta-throw, I better juke here if she throws. And then they will run into the hatchet. This is a really common trick that I use. It works wonderfully. And you can even use it to double mind game in case survivors that have played against you or have seen what you do and can adapt. You can actually use that. You pull a hatchet and you throw it straight, and they think that you will adjust for jukes, but then it will not. I've caught a lot of survivors with that one, where they think, oh, I thought you were going to throw it wide, Like they were like, oh, I thought this Huntress was going to throw it wide for me juking, but I just throw it straight because they've demonstrated that they have the ability to adapt to what I'm going to be able to do to predict them.
How did I get that?
Now, this second hatchet, very important. What is Claudette going to do here? Claudette's going to run behind that tree, poke left, and then peek right. There's a difference between poke and peek. Because when I say poke, it means that they're just going to poke out for a second. It's kind of self-explanatory. And peek is when they're going to fully expose themselves. So I know this because she will not want to go, right? Think about it this way. She will not want to go to the left of the tree because she has all of this open area to converge upon if she goes to the left. So she will go inside, poke left, and peek right. Why? Because the right is the closer corner, and to round the corner versus Huntress is more security, so she will play for security. So hold it, throw.
That's cool.
You see, you throw late, but if you threw earlier and with a better strafing and an angle, you would have been able to hit the hatchet on her, and then you wouldn't have to
See,
slug her because she would be closer to the hook, so you could just instantly pick her up and hook her.
Hi,
And they can
Bliss.
just
Have a
A
fun
right
war.
next to
yeah,
okay.
no. He's swinging at me. Already thinks we're speed hacking from
And I don't think there's probably not going to be a really useful chase here. So we'll end it off on that. Um, there is another Huntress game here. I will analyze this one as well, because both Huntress games thus far have not been super helpful. Like there hasn't been anything crazy that I could able to point out. The second game was better than the first. The first one was mostly just a macro issue. Ironworks of Misery. Well, this map sucks ass for you, so you're going to have to adapt your playstyle. You want to play smaller, more territory-based because it is a large map. You want to control the highest concentration of gens, and you want to find good hooks. Good first downs and good hooks are really important on Huntress because it allows you to control and shape the rest of the map depending on what hooks you get in the initial phase of the game. This is a basic killer thing, but is doubly important on Huntress, who is really slow and is based on controlling territory. Do not pull around this corner. Yes, you will not get a hit. You do not have babushka. If you had babushka, that would be a perfect hatchet. Okay, you do a classic mind game. You should be able to get an M1 here. Okay, she jukes into the corner for absolutely zero reason. The reason why I say an M1 here is because there are too many variables and too many chances. So imagine, let's say you go around this corner, you come around here, you pull a hatchet. She might continue holding W and you might throw it wide, expecting her to juke. You might pull the hatchet and then throw it, and then she jukes it, and so it becomes a 50-50. If you just go forward with your M1, you will be able to land that guaranteed. However, because you took the chance and because she is inept, you hit the hatchet on her, and you get basically an insta-down because of the oak haft effect, where it causes survivors not to drop pallets that they need to drop.
Honestly, Shaq, I don't mind Alex and all this. She's
I would have reloaded it before the hook so that you could hook, you could see people on barbecue, and then you could be on your merry way. It's more time efficient.
You're happy then. I'm okay with it then.
You needed to be a little higher there. I'm sure you already know though. That would have been a difficult hatchet to hit because of those little bumps on the crates. You have to be mindful of those. Nice, you can just pull here. Oof, okay. So, here's how you want to play this. Round this corner, right? Right here. Right here, once you cross this corner, that's when you pull. You pull a little late here, and that's why you're not able to occur the hit. You probably still could have even gotten the hit if you... What in tarnation? That's just a reaction-based thing, right? If you were, like, more quick with your reactions, then you would have hit that there.
but once you understand the
See what I'm saying, by the way? This person jukes immediately as soon as you take out and throw the hatchet. They don't even look behind them. Boom, see? They juke. But unfortunately, she like double taps her keys or something, so she takes a second to move before that happens. Nice hatchet, good down. But you notice, a better player will be able to juke all these hatchets. Why? Because look at the timing of your hatchets. This hatchet is thrown as soon as you are able to throw it, and this hatchet is thrown as soon as it is fully charged. If you insert different timings and variables into the charges of your hatchets, you will have much more success with landing hatchets versus good players because they will have to guess and they'll be like more I guess befuddled as to the timings of your hatchets because they come at more random times and much more difficult to predict times, right? Rather than the standard when you can and when you have it fully charged. There you just wanted to wait a little bit because she's not going to be fast enough. There you throw it a little wide, good prediction that she goes wide off of the crates instead of goes the corner. You want to hold it there. Why? Look, she seems to be a smarter player than the rest. Why? Because this player actually looked behind you in chase. You know she's going to juke that there. Watch, 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 watch. She's looking at you. She's looking directly at you, and she's entering the pallet at a right angle. What does that mean? That means she's going to juke to the right. Look, look. She sidesteps at the last second. You knew that that was coming with the way that she was looking at you and the way that she was entering the pallet. You know she's going to...
Why? Why did you... Okay, this fact.
So you know that she's going to juke that the way she entered. So, what you do here, you don't respect it. Do not respect it. Why? Because you are playing Huntress. And the reason why is because there is a tech. You have your hatchet fully pulled. You can walk through it. Walk all the way through it. If she turns to drop it, let go of your hatchet button and aim at her legs. That way, when you get stunned, you will release the hatchet in the same frame the moment she turns, and you will hit. Even if she doesn't drop the pallet, because that survivors lose momentum when they turn, unless they turn perfectly, which nobody does. Very few people do, actually. You will still hit it. And even if they turn perfectly, the hatchet is probably fast enough that they will clip their leg hitbox. So you do not respect this pallet. Why? You don't respect it, not because you predicted her to not drop it, but because even if she does drop it, you will be able to release your hatchet at the same time and procure a hit through the last frame tech. Here, you hold it. Why do you hold it? Because you don't want to predict. You hold it, you wait to see if she jukes. If she doesn't juke, she doesn't have enough distance, you can shoot to the corner and you will clip her leg hitbox. See, you would have clipped her heel because she's turning to the right, which means the left side of her heel will be exposed to your spherical hitbox.
Why? Why did you... Okay, this fact.
Here, you just play patient and you get the confirmed hit. Good. Oh, that's just unfortunate. Happens sometimes. Just time and experience will fix you missing melee hatchets. Even the best huntresses, even I miss. Okay, that sounds really egotistical. I'm not one of the best huntresses, but
No.
even someone who has tons of hours on Huntress like me will miss melee hatchets just because, it just happens, you're not patient, and you just make like a slight mismovement in your mouse. It happens.
Oh, can you hide me then?
Yeah.
A little
Sadly,
higher. A little higher, and you're shooting to a hook, so you have to treat it like it's thicker than it actually is.
The blue?
For some reason.
it looks very extreme, man.
Why is she killing
Can't
herself?
remember.
No, from Wavy Stream, the blue
Hold
head
it.
stream when they played
Oh, the
Huntress.
blue head
Nice.
streamer. Yes, that one. Yeah.
Put your hatchet down. It's hard to hit over this. You want her to be forced to the other way, or you want her to drop the pallet.
Really?
Bro, Drew, shut up.
Oh
Okay, this
no,
is a good pull here. Reason why? Why is this a good pull?
It was funny as hell.
Because she lets you get close enough where if you pull
Bro, Drew, shut
right
up.
here past this object, you can just track her and walk along with her, and you can hit her over this no matter if she crouches or not. Good, you readjusted your aim at the last second and you hit her when she was dropping the pallet.
Can I just...
Yeah, that was a good hatchet, Jakku.
You're right.
Well done. Okay, that is the most Drew aim I've ever seen.
Scary.
Don't throw over that, you're not gonna hit it. Why? Because she's gonna double back. She's gonna hear you throw the hatchet instantly,
Since you
and she's
said
gonna
that,
double back there.
I think I am winning. Thank you. Yes, Tabby.
See, she even performed that action, I think.
They ran away.
This is what I'm talking about, the hatchet timing. This, in her mind, she will not identify this as a loop where she can hide and be safe no matter what the enemy Huntress does. So, if you throw this hatchet, look, she will turn.
Help her.
Why? Because she will identify it as an unsafe area versus Huntress,
Where'd you expect
and
me to throw over that?
she
Since I am
will
winning.
juke.
Thank you. Yes, Tabby. I hate you.
So, okay, so this kind of movement can be difficult to throw versus, but there are some good techs that you can use. For example, you can fake a hatchet. So what she's doing is she knows she's at range. So what she's doing is she's just holding W and she's waiting for the throw and she's dodging in one direction. I think she will dodge to the left. Why? Because she's slightly strafing to the right and she's looking at you from her left. So she will juke to the left because she took 2 steps to the right. So you can either predict and throw ahead to her left to try and hit her as she's moving, or what you can do is you can keep holding W until she comes to that corner, and then you can quickly flick your hatchet up and then back to its original position to make her think that you just did the throwing action, because a lot of survivors will not watch the hatchet, they will watch the Huntress's body movement, and then she will juke and return to her original position or slightly to the left of her original position because that's where she juked to, and then you will be able to hit her if you throw to that position.
I hate you.
Now she will juke to the right because she juked to the left last time. Now she will not juke
No.
because she knows that she will make the corner.
Oh.
Yes, force her to the outside. Okay, good mind game. That works too.
Fair enough.
The reason why I say first to the outside is because it's more guaranteed. Nice hatchet. What I would have done in this scenario to get an absolutely 120% guaranteed down is around here. I would not be on this side, right? Because what if she is a psychopath and she just runs through and goes around the corner in
Fair
main?
enough.
What I would do is I would approach this, I would stare straight ahead, and I would hold A to this, I don't know if you can see my cursor or not. I would hold I would stare straight ahead and hold my hatchet and hold A and approach this tank tires, and then I would just keep her there and I would go around it until it's long enough that she's uncomfortable and I throw over it, or she goes back to drop the pallet, at which second I release the hatchet in the last frame before the pallet stuns me and she gets hit anyway. And she's injured, so even if she stuns me and gets the distance, it won't matter. She's gonna juke to the right. Nice, you predicted that.
My game. She popped that gen and my computer crashed.
So, look at this.
Well, isn't
So, what just happened? That guy just got hit from a prediction hatchet that he tried to juke. And you know he tried to juke that because, well, he literally just tried to. So, he's going to think like, oh, okay, that just hit me. So, he's going to be more careful. So, when you throw this, he is going to juke. What you do, you throw to that little outlet directly to the right underneath that large spool, that wire spool, and he will juke back into it and get hit. So this will be like a double read. You read that he's gonna juke on this because he got hit by a juke hatchet last time, so he's gonna go back to not get hit there.
sorry guys, we're backing out, Rob. Rob and I have made the executive decision to avoid the 5 days.
Oh. Okay.
This game.
The 5-day random.
Nice. Good hatchet. For more security, I would have thrown over that because it's less likely for her to juke something over there than it is for her to go to the right because it has a lot of high areas, so she probably won't juke.
Oh. You almost ran into that.
This you can just walk to her. There's no need to pull a hatchet.
I'm being juiced. I'm being juiced like a kid.
That reminds me
Stop
of
watching.
my favorite professor. She's Indian as well.
Okay, well that's game. I feel like that game, even though it was pretty much won and decided just because the guy at the beginning killed himself, I think that was a much better game that we could glean a lot more information from.
Looking ahead.
Anyway, so that's my Huntress analysis. I will probably do more on other killers. I'm not nearly as good at Blight and like Oni and shit that I am as Huntress and Hillbilly, but I will probably do some just for some people who are pubbers and want to learn like the basics and fundamentals of Blight and things like that. Blight and Oni and Nurse. Um, these, unless it is specifically Huntress or sometimes Hillbilly, these are not really meant for extremely advanced players who play in like competitive leagues and in high level tourneys. The Huntress ones you can apply to at any state of the game, but the future ones in which I do Blight and Oni will be more for pub games, for more people who want to learn the basics and maybe some more advanced tricks on the killer. But yeah, that was my video. Huntress analysis of my friend JackuuChan. He's a great dude. He streams at JackuuChan on twitch.tv, and he's a fun guy to watch. Well, that's about it. Bye bye.